The pandemic has brought about the very real possibility that millions of Americans will be disenfranchised in the 2020 presidential election. This week, I sat down with California Senator Kamala Harris to talk about her efforts to safeguard voting in the time of corona. The best part of sheltering in place is that people are finally answering my prank calls. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I know that running for vice president must be a very full schedule for you.
Oh, Samantha. Honestly, seriously, my head is so not there. Honestly, my head is so not there.
But I do have a follow-up question. How are you going to balance being the VP, but also being the Attorney General? I want that so bad! But we're in a universe where no one is getting what they want except Mitch McConnell, who'd rather play Animal Crossing than let the Senate get back to work.
We should be working on the next bill to bring relief to families, to the now over 26 million people who just in 5 weeks lost their jobs, to the children of our nation who are food insecure. But there has been such a failure of leadership, in particular out of the White House.
It's so desperate. The stakes are so high. Do you have days where you wake up and you go, oh, I don't know what to do today?
My days are more about trying to contain the bad words that would come out my mouth if I were saying how I was feeling at that moment. Often the word that starts with an M and ends with a.
Deeply familiar.
Particular around, certain times of day when I'm watching certain press conferences.
Oh, I hear you, Senator.
The nation should be able to rely on the president to speak truth, to embrace science. But you have a Donald Trump who downplays the virus, who wants to place blame on others, who then is trying to muzzle the experts, and who is slow to act, who is inconsistent.
Yeah, on that subject, how would you put together the COVID Commission to investigate the abundant failures of the Trump administration? And please feel free to use as much detail as needed.
Right. So Adam Schiff and I, together with others, have a piece of legislation that would create a commission that is about requiring accountability and consequence. That would get started in February of 2021.
The fact that you believe that there's going to be a 2021 is already giving me hope. Hope, something that's been in short supply, especially if you're not a white dude.
The disparities that have long existed based on race are now highlighted. So one of the things I'm calling for around this pandemic is that we make decisions about where the resources should go based on that issue.
Why do you think so many other members of Congress have so much trouble calling this systemic racism? Is it because they have never faced anything like this in their entire natural-born lives?
I think it is because there is a problem in general that America does not want to deal with its history on the issue of race. And so they don't want to call the problem what it is because they don't like the form of the solution.
But while people are being distracted by, staying alive, Kamala Harris is keeping her eye on the ball because, you say it.
Do you know that William Barr, the Attorney General of the United States, has lawyers in courtrooms in America right now trying to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, which brought healthcare to 30 million people who didn't have it?
What the hell?
There's so much about this that is just ass backwards, excuse my language, about how people are approaching this moment. This is a moment when you lift other people up, everyone is lifted.
I need you to give the press conferences in the afternoon.
Or
Can you just take over?
One person, just Fauci.
But Brad Pitt isn't the president, and unless we vote Trump out of office, we're kind of totally 100% doomed. How are you going to ensure that we can all vote?
So my Vote Safe Act says, one, let's require voting by mail to make sure that all states have early voting at least 20 days before election day, so you can do it according to your schedule.
How do you think that Republicans will explain trying to block your act?
Here's the thing, the president knows that if there is vote by mail and it is available to all Americans, then it is very likely that he would lose. He is not a winner. in terms of what our country.
He is not a winner.
He's not winning for us.
I agree, Madam Vice Attorney President General. I agree. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. You might be the 1 millionth subscriber, or the 1 millionth and 1th or 2th. I mean, who's counting? I am. Please subscribe.